in Jamshedpur and I'm looking for better job opportunities right now.
Okay, thanks for the introduction. Next, Rahul.
Hello.
Yes, Rahul.
Hello,
Carry on.
ma'am. My name is Rahul Gupta. I am still pursuing BCom honors. Apart from the graduation, I have done the course of DOPA, which consists of Diploma in Publishing and Office Accounting, and herefore looking for the SAP course. I am from West Bengal, Kolkata.
Thanks. Next, who is this? I am not able to see his or her name. Mm, MG. So not sure from where you joined and your name is not here. So if you kindly introduce yourself.
One is Sanjay
Okay,
Mandal is there.
okay.
Sanjay, please
Next,
Yeah, yeah.
introduce yourself.
Sir, I'm Sanjay Mandal from Kolkata New Town. And I am working with SZ Broadcasting Company Private Limited and looking for SAP FICO training.
okay. Thanks. Okay, now come to my introduction. Okay. So myself Chiranjit. So I have total year of experience, 12 plus years experience in as a SAP FICO, S4 HANA and SAP Veeam and Concur lead consultant. Okay, I was associated with different organization, multinational organization like IBM, TCS, and currently I am employed with one of the organizations which is working throughout the world. Okay, so the main thing I will be doing here is this: will be introducing about the SAP FICO and S4 HANA. Okay, so I also implemented 5 projects in the different companies in the SAP S4 HANA as well as SAP FICO and SAP Veeam. Veeam means that the vendor invoicing management. So I am going to provide you this demo class. So I hope everyone is aware that what is SAP and or like that. So after that you have appearing this SAP class, or you have heard from someone that this SAP is one of the ERP which is being used for different modules as having sales and distribution, human resource, human capital management, and sales. You can say that ABAP. So basis, finance, accounts, controlling. So there are different types of sub modules are there in the SAP. So before that, if we start it, so I will be sharing one PPT in front of you. And if you people are not able to understand, and just let me know and stop me if I'm going first as well, and let me know. Okay.
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 So out of these four candidates, so Molloy is the new person who have joined. Okay, so later I will be doing the introduction. So who all are doing in this? I mean that uh, performing as a in a organization or working in the SAP or working as an end user or anything like that. Anyone is there working with SAP as end user or like that? Any other ERP?
This is yeah. I'm Sanjay Mandal. I'm working in SAP in Paybill, if I'm
Accounts
model.
payable.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone is associated with any other organization? So in the accounting profile or like that?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Sir, I am accounting job in Calendula, Wincom
Okay.
Private Limited.
Okay.
Already running.
Okay. No problem. So I'm now sharing. If anyone is just sharing your screen or switch on the video, please switch off it, please. Hope everyone able to see my screen. Yes, no.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Okay, so what we will be discussing in this particular class, or you can say that demo session. So this is all about the brief about the institutes or the organization and introduction of the ERP and SAP. The third part is the part of SAP FI module and overview of the CO module, course curriculum and Oswego advantages. Okay, so apart from these topics, I will be giving some inner view of this SAP FI modules and SAP CO modules, which will not be, I will be covering from here. I will be covering in the description mode. Okay, so it will not matching with this particular slides. Okay, so first I'm coming to Oswego learning. So this Oswego learning is which they are operating. Hello Argoda, are you there? Is on mute. Okay, so this is an initiative which is consulting LLP, which provides the training for more than which is called than 10 years. They are providing the experience of these faculties as well, the providing training to the students as well, the professional trainings and as well the corporate training. So they are providing. Okay, and promoted this is promoted by the group of IT professionals who is collective that there are more than 50 years. So they are having, they are taking projects from the different companies and serving it as a SAP consulting firm. Okay, faculty members who all are having working for this particular organization, so they are more than 10 years of experience. So less than that experience who are not providing the trainings in this particular organization, and all these trainings are not related. So this is related to the classroom training, I mean that offline training as well as online training. Okay, so this is all about. Then the second slide I am going to that the ERP and the ERP products. Okay, so first if I am asking that what is the full form of the ERP. So what is anyone able to tell me what is the full form of the ERP? Ruchi, Rahul, Sanjay and others as well.
Enterprise resource planning.
Very good. So this is the enterprise resource planning, so which is used in the different sector or different modules or different segments. So in the different organizations are using any of the different types of ERPs are there. If you go by that SAP is one of the ERPs, populating ERPs as well. The Microsoft Dynamic is also one of the ERPs. So you can say that Oracle as well as one of the ERPs. Oracle is particular. If I am talking about the finance part, they are taking care. There are different ERP for the Oracle. So there are different ERPs are there. So which is taking care the finance module as well. The other modules are there. Here it is mentioned that inventory management, sales, production planning, customers, vendors. So in this finance module, inventory module, sales, production planning, all are involved here with the customer, vendors, so and warehouse. These all are related. Inventory is related to the warehouse, sales is related to the customers, and finance is working with that, and which is called customer and vendors both. Along with that, the warehouse part also, some part it is taking care in the finance. HR is working with the workforce management, the employees, and shop floor execution and production planning. So without production planning, the other department cannot work. So the inventory is that which is called the material management. Okay, so these all are the part of the ERP modules. So they might be, I mean that the organization might be using different types of ERPs, but SAP is the one of the leading ERPs from since 1972. It is being created from the Germany, and it is now it is a very much popular ERP which is explode in the different countries throughout the world. Okay, any questions up to this?
No, sir.
No, man. No.
Okay, so that now that ERP products which I am telling about, that the SAP, after that SAP you can see that here what are the market players which is coming to compete with the SAP. The first one is the highest one is the SAP, and if you are checking that in SAP consultant in India is the highest number of consultant working in India, and throughout the, if you compare that throughout the world. The second part is the Oracle application, which I told you that SAP's biggest competitor is Oracle, and JD Words is also there. Workday is normally used for the HR. Okay, so HR part is taken care by the Workday, which is called human resource capital. If you get into any organization, your data, all the data are maintained in the Workday profile. Even there is a interface between SAP and the Workday. So you, if you working in the SAP industry or SAP world, you can see that this Workday and SAP is closely related. Okay, the next time coming Microsoft Dynamic, I told that this is one of the ERPs which is now is growing. Infor is one of the ERPs, and ban. Okay, so out of these 1 2 3 4 5 6, so there are many others. So out of these 6, the SAP is taking the leading market share. So there is most populating, and the job opportunities are more in for the SAP. So in that case, the most of the which is called the organization, those who are having 5 crores or more than turnover, they can afford with all the modules. Okay, it is a chargeable, so those are not having that much in Indian rupee, that 5 crore and above turnover, they can afford this SAP software. And this SAP ERP is helping to get the data in an accurate manner, and you will get a detailed information of all the data. If any data is getting deleted or anything, so you will get the footprint, whatever you called it, no data will be deleted permanently from the system. It will there whatever way you are deleting it.
So in SAP, any data cannot be deleted. Na? It only can be reversed.
Sorry, could you please come again? No.
Are you getting my voice? Hello.
No, could you please come again with your question?
I mean to say, any data cannot be deleted in SAP. It can only
Permanently.
reverse. It can only be reversed.
No, you can get the delete option. You can delete it, but from the database, it won't be deleted. From the system, it might be deleted, but from the database, it won't be deleted. Okay.
But once it is posted, I mean authorized, then it cannot be deleted.
No, not like that. So you are talking about from the end user perspective. I got your point. The thing is that if you are posting any vendor invoice or you are posting any customer invoice, in that case, if you are reversing it, or in that case, you are telling that we cannot, it is not getting deleted permanently or like that, right?
But once it is authorized.
It is the thing is that the main concept is that you can reverse any document from the SAP. Okay, reverse and reset, or permanently reverse from the SAP, but you never delete permanently from the SAP. Delete means that you cannot erase the data that will be stored in a database and in a program.
Okay.
Okay, it will never permanently deleted. As a end user perspective, I will be telling what is end user and what is the other users. So in this part of once I will be covering the finance part, I will be telling. Okay, so as a from end user perspective, if you are post or any documents you have parked from the from the park document, you have make it post, and after that you can reverse it. If after clearing you, it will not allow you to reverse this. So there are many other things, but this is from the end user perspective. But don't take this one. this is a consulting part. Okay, so how you configure, how you implement. So if any consultant, so getting that if you have been told that where the data is stored, this data is stored in SAP, in the database, SAP database, in a table format. This is the thumb rule. You always remember the all the data in the stored in the SAP in a table format and in the SAP database. And SAP database means, what is the SAP database? Here in ECC system, they are using two database, either of these two database. One is Oracle database and other one is MySQL database. It is the ECC part. If I am going to SAP S4 HANA, they are using their cloud database. Okay,
Right.
there. So in that case, in the cloud, they are storing their data, and they are not depending on the other, which is called that other competitor. Just like I told that Oracle. So our MySQL is a part of the Microsoft as well. Okay, so that is the thing. You cannot do this thing from permanently. Whatever database you are using to store the data in a table format, you cannot delete it permanently. That is the main concept. Got my
Okay.
point?
Got sir. Got it.
Okay. So now I am coming to the key facts of the SAP. So that SAP stands. So SAP, what is SAP stands for? SAP stands for System Application Products in Data Processing. So which I told you that in the year of 1972, which introduced in the market from the Germany, and it is now gradually growing and growing, and it is globally recognized. Okay, it is globally recognized that if you are certified in a SAP in anywhere in the world, you will be getting the value. Okay, in it's the module of the SAP FICO. I heard everyone, most of them from the cost and cost accounting and charter accountant, or someone has passed or pursuing the BCom, MCom, like that. So this is the thing. So you in this module is very much populated and growing in this market. Now I'm coming to the SAP market share. Hello, anyone is having any
Uh,
question?
ma'am, yes, ma'am. I have one doubt.
Tell me.
I have heard that for becoming for having the future in SAP, one has to do the MBA in finance. It is compulsory for a student or a person who is working in SAP FICO has to be qualified in MBA finance.
No. That is never be a true statement from where I'm not sure you have heard. So it is never be in a BCom student can also do this SAP. I mean that learn the SAP FICO. Okay, if he is having BCom student and he or she is doing the SAP certification and all this whatever thing, global certification and SAP learning is not for like that. You should be or you have to be an MBA graduate.
Okay.
Okay.
But if you are,
And,
but sir, as
and
per
One person, one time, please. Yeah.
ma'am, I have one more question. Is it compulsory to have a global certification?
No.
Well, I am searching online about this course. So I have also heard that the most of the institute that are gathering the SAP courses, the company does not get any values of that certificate. They're always required for the global certification. That that the cost is very high.
Hmm. I'm
Is
telling the
it
actual
compulsory?
fact. Yeah, I'm telling the fact. Okay. So this is not the fact. If you have a good amount of knowledge in SAP, SAP means SAP is a ocean. So not in the SAP, the particular module knowledge or product knowledge, which you can say that. So in SAP FICO, if you are doing if you have good amount of knowledge in SAP FI plus CO, in that case, you will definitely, crack the interview. Okay, you don't need the SAP global certification. Okay, so you can update your resume that you have already completed the SAP course from XYZ institute, and you don't need to even produce your certificate. So they whatever questions they will be asking, and in that way, so it will be guiding from this institute, and all the question answers, what will be the questions will be asked in days to come. So whenever you will be preparing, and whatever projects and whatever implementation project also will be providing that a blueprint project also provided. So you will be almost prepared if you are serious about this particular topic. No SAP global certification is required. Yes, it is true that in some perspective, if any person is going as a SAP global certified, but he doesn't know, there are many fake things are nowadays is happening, that the proxy, now few people are taking the dumps and giving the proxy exam, and the person is not aware what is SAP even. Okay, and ultimately you have to face the interview. Whatever knowledge you have to show in the in front of the interviewer. Okay, after that you will be showing your certification, you are a global certified. Even though two participants has faced the interview, and one participant is having the global certification and one participant is not having the global certification, but the person who is not having the global certification is having much knowledge, the company will be preferring that person only. Okay, that is the fact.
Company will
It
see the institute certificate as well or not?
institute certificate is not that much required. I'm telling now, even that global certificate, you produce that global certification after global, it is not like that you produce your global certification to the, I mean that global certificate to the interviewer, and they will not take your interview. They will be telling you, yes, you are selected for so and so post. Okay, not any certificates will work. Okay, until and unless you have a good knowledge, at least. Okay, the beginners level knowledge you must have. So that is the fact. If anyone is telling that you, if you have global certification, you will be go and you will get the exam, I mean that you get the, what is called, get the job. So not like that. Okay, so any certificate will not work until and unless you have a good knowledge. Okay, so they will be asking the initial questions, so that will be trained in this particular course, whatever questions they will be asking. Because I have been taking the interviews of the many participants, or many interviews comes without that knowledge, and come with the only with the global certification. They are getting rejected so many times. So that is the thing. So that is not the fact. Okay.
Okay.
So next is that enterprise resource planning, supply chain management. So these all are the modules, you can say that ERPs, and 4 lakh 40,000 plus customers and 180 countries and 200 million users, and SAP customers includes. So here these all are the customer database, and it is nowadays it is more than that 4 lakh 40. It is nowadays is near about 4 lakh 80,000 customers are using this SAP, and is globally 180 countries. You imagine that how many countries. So any countries you are going, whether you have this knowledge, so you will be getting that that much value for that particular certification or particular course or particular knowledge. Okay.
Chiranjit, I think Ruchi has some query. Ruchi has already raised her hand. Ruchi, please.
Okay. Yeah, please.
No, no, I don't have any query. I just want to give a suggestion that let's go for this question answer round later on at the end of the session, so that session doesn't get delayed and session will get completed in time. And whosoever is having any doubts, they will ask at the end of
Right.
the session.
Right. So that would be great. So if you people are asking question in the end, yeah, thanks Ruchi for taking this out. Okay, so now I'm coming to the SAP conceptual areas. Okay, so there are three conceptual areas is there. There's the application, basic area, and the development area. Okay, so the what is the application area? So that the execute of the SAP, that in application which is called the SAP three-tier architecture. Okay, if I'm coming to the SAP three-tier architecture, there are three layers are there. Okay, application layer, database layer, and the presentation layer. So in this case, this SAP R3 architecture is working. What is the SAP application layer? So whatever transaction codes, so here in the SAP, this particular FICO module, this is the functional part. So we are using the SAP standardized transaction code. In this SAP standardized transaction code will be giving you the that your expected results, that if you are trying to look into the vendor ledger, if you wanted to see the customer ledger, if you wanted to check the GL accounts, whatever the general ledger accounts being used. General ledger means the ledgers. So we heard about in our school days the ledgers. So that thing, or you wanted to see the asset accounting, the asset management, and all these asset master data. So everything, whatever. So there is a standardized transaction code created by the SAP, and that SAP standardized transaction code we are using in the application server. Okay, now I am coming to the presentation layer. Presentation layer means that here it is, you can say that in the development area. Okay, in this development area, what we are doing, that whatever transaction code, so this is used by the users, end user, it is used by the super user, it might be used by the power user. So whatever super user or power user developing in the system, so that will be showing in the presentation layer. Presentation layer means that it will be giving you the result, whatever transaction code you have used, standardized transaction code. It will allow you to configure the system as per the customer requirement. So here I use three terms: super user and power user. What is super user and what is power user? That super user is that the person who is the developing this particular requirement. If you are having a requirement to create a company, if you have a requirement to create the company code, or you have a requirement to create the credit control area, so if you have this type of requirement, so in that case, oh, I am opening, just hold on a minute, it will clear. So what is that particular thing? So this is the SAP server. Okay, hope everyone able to see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, so here, so this here we will be using one transaction code. So for example, I'm using transaction code OX15, or we can use easily. Okay, so as I told you, the creation of the company code, you have been told to create a company code. So this is the particular area. Here, before we get into this particular area, I have used one transaction code, that is the SAP standardized transaction code, that name is OX02, and it is representing me that whatever company codes are being configured in this SAP system. So this is the presentation layer. If I am going here, just back. Okay. Okay, so you can see here the database system. Everyone can able to see. This is
Yes.
the database. It is using here MySQL. I told you that the system is storing their data in one of the database, that is MySQL or Oracle. So here in ECC system, they are storing their data in MySQL system. So this is the database layer. So here, as per this presentation, so in SAP conceptual application layer, database presentation layer and the database layer. Okay, and this database layer is to get into this database layer, and any change you should have the authorization. And also in the development area, as a super user and the power user, if you have to access in the super user and the power user, you must have the authorization and the IDs and etc. These authorization IDs are required to get into the SAP system. Now I am coming to in this, I'm not sure this particular thing. Before this covering this part, I am telling that what is super user and what is power user. Okay, so there are three systems on SAP are there, which is called system landscape. So the first system is called the development system. The second system is called quality system, and the third system is called production system. Okay, got my point? So this development system means it is also called as development client or development server, and quality client and quality server. In this development system, whenever we wanted to log in into the development system to do any configuration or any development, you must have the access of a super user. Without the super user authorization or access or IDs, which is mentioned in the basic area, so you cannot get into this development server or development client. And as per the requirement, you have to configure that this you have to configure one company or company code, which I showed you here. This in for supposedly you told you to create XYZ company. So let me get out and showed you. Okay, so here if I click on new entries, you can see that the configuration window is coming. Right here you have given the name of the company as XYZ. So XYZ is already, and you have given the name of that company is for example Tata Motors, and you have given the country in India, and you can put the currency, and you also do, if you don't wanted to put, so you can. Languages English. So if you see that, so actually one entry is already exists, so that is the reason it is showing as an entry already exists. So in this way you can create the company. So you have to get the requirement from your client, and you get into this particular development server, and you must have the authorization of or ID to get into this particular development system as a super user. Now I am coming to the next part, which is called the power user. What is the power user function? As a part of system landscape, there is one system which is called the quality system. Right, in the quality system, whenever whatever changes we are making in the development server, so we have to move these changes from development system to the quality system. But everyone is required data which will be moved from development to quality without any error. So in that case, we are performing some testing in the development system. That testing is called as unit testing. Okay, so that unit testing is part of the development server, and as a super user you can perform this particular unit testing in development system to make sure the client requirement is made, okay, and as per expectation. So once you just confirm that this requirement has been fulfilled, you can move this change from development system to the quality system. And how this data move from development to quality system, so you might ask me that it is manually we can do it, or you need to do it in the quality system, we need to make the changes, or may whatever changes we have made in the development system do it again in the quality system. No. So there is a median. That median is called golden client or a transpose request. Through this transpose request we are moving the data from development system to the quality system. And once the data is passed as a unit testing, that unit testing is completely okay, we can moving the data in the quality system. Now in the quality system, what action we are doing, the data is moved through a transpose request and a golden client as a median in the quality system. Now we are performing one testing and we are checking that is everything is okay or not. So how we are checking? So there we are performing the testing which is called a user acceptance testing. Or so if there is any impact on the other system means that if you are doing any change in the company name, for example your company name is XYZ Limited, and next year you are making, you wanted to change your company's name from XYZ to ABC. In that case their plant name should be affected. So what should I do? In that case we are doing the regression testing. That plant level is taken care by the material management team. So material management is one of the SAP modules which is used by the which is called that you can say that P2P team. That P2P team is using this material management module, taking care that if any plant name is changed, plant location is changed, and all this go down is having shifted from one place to other place. So in that case they are taking care of that particular part. So in the quality system we are doing there, the testing is called the user acceptance testing. This is the main testing, and this testing with result we are producing to our client that her or his expectation is being met or not. That they told me to create a company with XYZ and their location will be in Jamshedpur, or it will be might be Odisha or any other states or like that. So according to that it is being created or not, they will be checking in the system. And once we get the validation, sorry, just a moment. Once we get the validation and confirmation from the client that the data is being properly maintained and you can move it as per the user acceptance testing UAT, we are proceed to move the changes into the production system. And this production system, so in I forgot to mention one more thing, so that in this quality system you must have access, as in the development system is a super user, in the quality system also the authorization team will be providing you the access of a power user. As a power user only you can log in into the quality system and check, and if any changes is being required you can make the changes in the quality system as a part of the UAT, user acceptance testing, or a regression testing. Now if everything is okay, unit testing is fine, you can say that your user acceptance testing is also fine, and now you can move the changes as per the client confirmation or your customer confirmation into the production system. This production system, if you want to log in the production system, you must have requirement of the IDs or authorization. So that authorization is called the end user or production authorization, end user access. Once the change is being moved in the production system, always remember, So the entire client or system will be affected in the sense that in the positive case as well, the negative case as well. How that your change is being made, if the testing is not being performed properly, if 1000 users are using this particular company or company code and making the posting against that particular company code, all postings will be wrong. And if you are properly doing it, the configuration, so it will be working fine. Okay, so this is the thing we are in this 3-tier architecture as well. The system landscape, it is also called system R3 landscape. Now I am coming to the next slide. So here, what are the SAP functional modules? So as I told you, there are many modules there which are related to the SAP. So like that, in SAP functional modules as well the technical modules. So we are working on the SAP functional modules where we will be using the SAP standardized transaction code, or not anything related to the coding. Any coding is not required, is particular functional, all these functional modules. But in the technical modules we are required in this coding, but sometimes it is part of, but you as a functional consultant, techno functional consultant, sometimes you have to work with this other modules teams as well, and you have quite bit of knowledge later part as an experienced professional. You should have the knowledge of these particular technical modules, but you don't need to do this particular codings like that. Okay, so this functional modules is that SAP sales and distribution, material management, finance and controlling, production planning, project system, and human resource management, or which is also called human capital, HCM, human capital management. Now I'm coming to the SAP technical module, which is popularly known as SAP ABAP. Okay, then I'm coming to the NetWeaver or the basis team, who is provide you the authorization, which I already told you that the authorization part, this is basis area. Basis area means that this falls under the basis team, who will going to provide you the access of this development system, quality system, as well the production system as a super user, power user, and business user or end user. So this is the basis team. Now coming to the SAP enterprise portal. Enterprise portal is one of the portal where this all the clients is getting supported. Now I'm coming to the PIPO, is one of the modules which is a technical module. And I'm coming to the BIBW. BIBW is a business intelligence and a business workplace module. So this module is also used in the as a technical module. SAP Fiori. So SAP Fiori is also used for the SAP. Nowadays SAP Fiori is linked also part of SAP FICO. Those who are working or those who will be working in the SAP FICO, that though there will be giving the training of the SAP FICO as well, SAP Fiori as well, because the Fiori app is in outside India is mostly explored and populated. Now I'm coming to SAP UI5. UI5 is completely a technical one, which is related to the interface. Okay, so now I am going to the next module. So introduction of the financial accounting and all this. So before coming to this particular thing, I wanted to give you one important thing, which is the SAP roadmap. What is the SAP roadmap? Because in days to come, you will be working in any organization in SAP, and you have to know that as a SAP consultant, what SAP consultants are doing. There are consultants, there are two types of consultants are there. Okay, one is functional consultant, one is technical consultant. Okay, and there is other consultants are also there, those who are having the knowledge after the experience age or decade. So that is called the techno functional consultant. You have knowledge in the technical part as well the functional part, which is called the techno functional consultant. Okay, so this part is the type of SAP consultant. Now I'm coming, if you are getting into the in organization, you have to follow the SAP roadmap, or if you are partnering of a SAP implementation project, what things you have to maintain. The first thing, is that called is requirement gathering. Okay, what is the requirement gathering phase? So any organization which is maintaining their data in tally, okay, and their turnover has increased, they thought that they will be populating, or they will be populating their data in SAP, and they migrate their data from tally to SAP, and in coming days they will be using the SAP particular ERP. So in that case, a SAP consultant role as a SAP functional or SAP technical. So what is that? They will be doing the requirement. They will be going to their particular company, taking the requirement of that particular organization accordingly. So they will be following that the requirement gathering, which is called the requirement gathering space or requirement gathering phase. So this particular requirement gathering phase, they will be taking all data, and the work will be starting from this requirement gathering phase only. Now the second phase, which is called as is phase. So as is phase is part of that. In the tally they are maintaining that one ledger, three sub ledger, and under this all these the vendor ledgers are there, customer ledgers are there, and all this the mix and match, all this they have maintained in the tally. Now once the SAP consultant had taking the requirement, and they have understand the system that what needs to be changed, so they will be telling something that what is required to be changed in the particular system, in the as is system, so which is called is a part of to be system. So as a SAP implementation consultant, which is functional or might be the technical consultant, so you will be providing your thoughts and what needs to be changed in the particular system. So that is part of the to be module. Okay, that the to be phase. So this is the third phase of the SAP roadmap. Now I am coming to the fourth phase, which is called as high level discussion. So you have already taken that requirement, you have already mapped the system, that what is the existing system, and you have thought you will be mapping the entire SAP system in your own manner, that you will be proposing. If you maintain the data in so and so way, your data will be more clean and you will be getting the data in easier way. So this is in the to be phase, and after you creating everything, there will be a discussion with the management of that particular organization, with the SAP consultants, that we have mapped the data in this way, and is this okay for you, and you wanted me to change anything in this particular mapping, not in the data, in the particular mapping. So accordingly, the SAP consultant, if they wanted to change any mapping change in this particular which is called the functional specs, so they will be doing as a consultant level, they will be doing this particular change in the particular system. So it might be in the P2P, which is called that in the enterprise structure, or it might be the global settings or any other system, they will be doing the changes. Now I am coming to the fifth phase, which is called the final preparation. So that you have made the changes as per the management decision, and you have followed the to be process, you have followed as is process, and requirement has already been gathered, and you have already ready with that. You now produce in front of your customers or your client that everything is prepared. Now you can tell me that it is ready to go live or not. Once everything is prepared, the system will be going live in the support, or you can do the production will be starting from in the SAP instead of which is called the tally or any other software or ERPs like that, Oracle or MySQL, or which is called Microsoft Dynamic, like that. So now I am coming to the introduction to the financial accounting. So this particular part, which is part of your course curriculum, that I am telling, that the bookkeeping, asset accounting, payment receipt. So these all are the things. Asset accounting, I am telling in my own language, it will be helpful for you to understand. So we will be covering the first topic as a financial accounting, that enterprise structure. that how the enterprise is getting built, that in this particular enterprise structure what is there, I am showing you. So you can see here the client which I told you, this is the client which is called sandbox client. Here it is not the actual. Here whenever you will be working in the original system, that is the development client. Here it will be mentioned 300 or 400 client. And this credential, which credential is provided by the basis team, and one of the slides is mentioned already, that authorization has given you the access with the IDs. So you have to put the ID over here. Okay. And here I'm showing that whatever topics we will be covering in a brief. I told you that enterprise structure. Under this enterprise structure, if you go to the definition, you can see that here you will be getting that how to create the company, how to create the company code, how to create the business area, functional area, how to create the segment, how to create profit center. So everything, these all will be showing as a part of the configuration. So which I went, just if I click on here, you have been given a screen of new entries. You have to, as per the client requirement, you have to develop it in this particular place, that what company you are going to create and all these things. If you have been told to create, your company is getting operated from Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai. So in that case, what you have to do, you have to create 3 areas, business areas, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and you have to mention the business area name. So business area Delhi, business area Mumbai, business area Chennai, like that. Okay. And if I telling about the functional area, the what is the functional area any organization is having. Okay, so this part is select. So this particular transaction code nowadays is not being used by the SAP. So that is the reason it is showing obsolete. So if I wanted to see that how to create the functional area and what is the purpose of this creation of this functional area. So this is the functional areas part. So that any organization is having different types of department, production and planning, sales and distribution, marketing. You can see that research and development, all this part of functional area. So this is the way the system is getting mapped. Okay. So now I am coming to the financial accounting global settings portion. The what is the financial accounting global setting portion? In this financial accounting global settings portion, we will be covering that how the fiscal year is getting maintained. That fiscal year means that every organization is following that either calendar year or financial year. So this fiscal year needs to be opened and closed, and as per the year and as per the posting, that year, 1 month is over, you are going to close that particular period and one new period will be opened and you have to make the posting. You have to create the chart of accounts, you have to create the which is called the general ledger accounting, so which is whatever ledgers, vendor ledger, customer ledger, asset ledgers. So all this will be part of this general ledger accounting. And asset accounting will be covering is the part of this, whatever assets is being there. For example, in your organization there are thousands of employees, they are using the table, chairs, laptops or desktop, so everything. So you are have been maintaining when this asset was purchased, what is the depreciation cost, what is the acquisition date, what is the retirement date. So what is the what at the end of the year you have to perform the depreciation run, that how many years we can use that particular asset. So these all are falling under this asset accounting. Okay, and accounts payable is the part where the vendor transactions, so whatever vendor payments you are receiving, whatever vendor you are or you have made the payment to the vendors, you have created the vendor ledger, or you have do the payment run, and how to configure all these things you will be showing in this accounts payable portion. In the accounts receivable portion is all about that the customer portion. Okay, that the customer master data creation, you have to receive the what is called the, you have to create, if any customer is not making their payment on time, in that case the legal notice will be shooting to the customer as a particular set of time that will be generated by the system. Then you have to map the customer statement generation, so how to map it in the system. So everything will be covering in the accounts receivable portion. Now I'm coming to the bank accounting. Bank accounting is closely related to the customer accounts receivable and accounts payable, because whatever transaction we receive, and whatever I mean that if any payment we receive from our customer and any payment we make to our vendor, so debtors and creditors, so everything will be happening through this bank accounting. Okay, and the legal consolidation is also a part of this accounts receivable and accounts payable, that vendor might be taking any action against you if you are not making the payment to the vendor, and which I called the dunning part, is there is a part of accounts receivable. If customer is not making the payment on time, you have to configure into the system, so how the notice will be generated, that will be taken care in the legal consolidation also. Okay, so these all are the parts will be, and is apart from this there are a few more topics are there, which is that tax accounting, VAT, GST, it will be showing is the part of this particular FICO, and the controlling part is a part of that, it will be covering later part. So general ledger accounting, which I told you that the general ledger accounting, whatever ledger concept we had, that normal, that if you are taking the salary to bank account, so how did we have to create one salary general ledger, we have to create one bank general ledger, and if we are just link it up, how to link it in the bank accounting system. So this is the part of bank accounting. I told you that if you are making the payment to any vendor, so vendor to bank, right, so you have to create the vendor ledger, you have to create the bank main incoming bank, outgoing bank, you have to create the bank of the main bank through which you have to do the reconciliation. So all this part of this general ledger accounting. So here it is mentioned the preparation of the chart of account, creation of the general ledger, posting transaction and general reports. Okay, accounts payable, which I told you that related to the sundry creditors or the vendors, and the sundry creditors and the vendor, you have to create the vendor master data. And vendor master data, what is the vendor master data? Vendor master data consists of the vendor details, that where the vendor is from, what is his details, if this vendor is not delivering the product on time, to whom I will be reaching, every details will be maintained in the vendor master data. So that is the reason we are creating a vendor ledger as well, and the transactions are posted and sub ledgers all are creating until within this accounts payable. And also this accounts payable portion, we are covering the payment run, how to make the payment. If you have 1000 vendors, and those vendors we are not gonna be paying to this vendor in manual basis. So in that case, we are performing one settings in the SAP, which is called that FBGP settings. Okay, so that settings will automatically perform that making the vendors payment, so that all the vendors are making I mean that getting their payment on time. So that configuration will be a part of accounts payable. Now I'm coming to the accounts payable process overview. This is the, which is called financial accounting, accounts payable. So that payment disbursement, so which I told you that this all this part, that periodic processing, accounts analysis and reconciliation, payment disbursement, and and which is called the invoice processing and master data. That invoice processing part, this part is falling under the part of end user or the business user, or as a testing part we are also doing it. But first and foremost thing is that if you chase your vendor, if the product is not getting delivered on time, we will be reaching to that master, as per the master data, whatever email address. And if any statement is getting generated, where the statement will be sent, so master data will be helping you to send that, because the email address will be updated in the master data only. Payment, if you are making the payments, all the bank details are updated also in master data. As per the master data, this payment is getting happened. Okay. And accounts analysis and reconciliation, so the main bank account details also you will be getting from the master data. Accordingly, this account analysis and reconciliation will be happened. As I told you in the general ledger portion, uh, we are creating the bank ledger. So bank ledger we are creating, there are three types of bank ledger we used to create. One is main bank, one is incoming bank, one is outgoing bank. Incoming bank is used for customer payment receipt. Outgoing bank is used for the customer payment, vendor payment, or any other payment to your customers. And other is main bank, this is used for the bank reconciliation purpose. Okay, so this is for the account analysis and the reconciliation purpose, the bank accounting is used. And the periodic processing, if any periodic processing, that quarterly basis or monthly basis or fortnightly basis, it is used for periodic processing. And all other things at the month end reporting we are also doing, and year end reporting also we are doing. So these all are the part of the accounts payable. So the same flow will be applicable for the accounts receivable as well. Okay, so this accounts receivable, which is part dealing with the Sunday debtors of the customers, which I already told you, and the sub ledger level, the customer master data, all transaction posted to the ledger, the customer ledger, if we are created. So this is here you can see also the general ledger concept is coming. Also in the before the previous to previous slide, here also you can see that this general ledger concept is coming. But everything is related, the main thing is master data. Here also if you see that the customer master data, is customer master data is not getting created, we cannot track to your customer. If your customer is taking credit, so in that case you cannot catch hold, and he or she is not getting or making the payment. So how, from where you will be getting the data, and from which data you will be taking from the customer. So is everything is depend on this particular customer master data. And general ledger is means that you have to create the customer ledger, as well as you have to create the whatever payment you are receiving, as I told you, for the bank also, incoming bank, all these things, and Sunday data sales. So these all are the ledgers you have to create it. This Sunday data sales is required for the invoice posting only. So to this, the accounts receivable. Now I am coming to the accounts receivable process, the same process which I already been described in the accounts payable. So master data or credit management. Here I am wanted to mention one thing, the credit management. Why you use this credit management? Your customer, you have total, for example, 2000 customer database are there, and there are few customer, for example 100 customers are there, who all are falling, so you taking goods and materials from you on credit basis. In that case you will be categorizing your customer in the credit risk, that high risk customer, medium risk customer, as well low risk customer. The high risk customer, those who are paying their dues not on time. Medium risk, those who are making their payment that sometimes on time, sometimes not on time, so medium risk. And low risk customer is that those who are always paying their dues before the due date or on the due date. So this is part of the credit management. So master data and credit management. So if the how the credit management is linked with the master data, because if the your customer is not making the payment on time, on the basis of master data you can follow up with the customer, and the dunning letters or legal notice, everything will be sent as per the whatever data is maintained in the master data level, email address, phone number, fax number, everything. Asset management. So I told you that asset management, that we have to create the asset master data. that whatever assets, the laptops, chair, table, whatever you have purchased, you have to maintain the asset master data. When you have acquired that particular asset, you have to maintain what type of asset you have acquired. Okay, this is a fixed assets, so or this is a which is called the tangible or intangible assets. So like that, intangible and tangible assets, we cannot goodwill is falling under intangible asset, right? So this will not categorization of the asset will be coming under the asset classes. So just like that, you have purchased furniture, you have purchased one building, you have purchased one equipment. So this falls under the asset classes, and asset master is linked with the asset classes. Okay, so that in asset master, the depreciation will be calculated as per the type of asset you acquired or you purchased, and on the basis, after certain of point of time, it is getting expired or it is getting retirement. So we are doing the retirement of the assets as per the, if after 10 years you will be changing the asset. So all the details will be based on this asset master data, and all transactions, so like that sales, purchase, scrapping, depreciations, everything is based on the asset master data, and we are doing the manual transactions as per the end user level, or sometimes for the testing purpose also we are doing. Testing purpose means that as testings we have maintained that unit testing, user acceptance testing, or regression testing. So these testings. Okay, so now I'm coming to the asset management, so which I told you that the balance sheet, this asset will become in the asset portion, liabilities portion. So this balance sheet, and this is the balance sheet, the GL accounts from the trading and PL, profit and loss accounts. And here the asset classes, which I told you already, that what type of asset you purchase, furniture or fixture, you purchase equipment means machines, or you purchase any building, or you purchase anything asset which is not yet constructed yet, or you purchase some car. So that is also, so that also falls under, everything is maintained under the asset master records. So according to the asset master record, you have to, this asset master record is linked with all these things. And you saw that I have showed you that for accounts receivable for the customer, accounts payable for the vendor, and for the asset, all these things, master data is the mandatory thing. If you are not properly maintain the asset master data, you cannot charge any depreciation or anything like that. Any financial reporting cannot be made, because a balance sheet is a part of financial, which is used for the financial reporting purpose, and trading PL balance sheet. So this is the main thing, and everything is linked with this. You can see that everything is linked. GL account, whatever ledger, if the ledger posting is wrong, so balance sheet will be affected wrongly. Okay, so now I'm coming to the introduction of the controlling, why we are part of the controlling. So in short, I am telling that the controlling module for the it is required for the internal management reporting or internal reporting for purpose, and there is an integration between the FI and the CO. Whatever data, what not whatever their data which is related to, suppose you have purchased a vehicle. Okay, so in that case, in which cost center we will be booking it. So there is one cost center we will be using, from where the cost will be showing at the end of the year. So in that case, we are using the finance cost center. That cost center is part of the controlling module. So that is the reason I told there is an integration between the FI and the CO. And the data is getting flowed from SAP FI to SAP CO, and vice versa, that CO to FI. So it happens. Now support budgeting, reporting, and also there are reports for, so it supports the coordination, monitoring, and optimizing of the all the process of the organization. So in this part, so in short, we can tell that in the controlling portion, whatever topics we will be covering, so that is cost center, how to create the cost center, the cost center, what is the purpose of the creation of the cost center, the purpose of the creation of the cost center, if you incurred any cost or any expenses under a particular cost center or under a particular bucket, you have to move that particular expenses. Otherwise, you cannot identify at the end of the year from which bucket or from which department these expenses is being occurred. If you are selling something, of any expenses are related to the sales or marketing, it will be coming through the sales or marketing cost center. If anything is required related to the finance, so that will be coming under the finance cost center, like that. So this cost center. Now I'm coming to the profit center. Whatever expense the profits are, and as well that that organization is making or organization has already made for the entire year, this will be coming under the profit center. Now I'm coming to the internal orders. So internal orders is required for the whatever work based elements we have used or whatever orders we have taken from our customers. So internal orders is used, so which is also linked with the cost centers, so that any customers or has been ordered something and it will be falling under a particular profit center or a particular cost center, so I will be booking that particular cost center. Or claiming something from the customer, that customer has claimed that product is defective, in that case we have to replace that product, it will be charging under the cost center. Okay. And we are coming to the product cost controlling profit center. I have already told that variance monitoring and control. So we are creating the variant and all these things to map all this profit center, cost element, internal order, there is one more thing is there, WBS element, work based structure, which is called. So these all are required for the internal reporting purpose, or you can say that for fund management or for the budget management or product cost estimation. Okay. So elements of the controlling module, which I have already told, that produce the cost center wise cost incurred in the business. So if I am giving salaries to my employees, so this will be part of the IT salaries paid to IT department employees. So it will falling under the finance department, or it will be falling under the HR cost center. So HRs, whatever you are getting the salaries from your organization, they are booking it under a particular cost center, that is the HR's cost center. Travel and expenses, if you are traveling for an office tour, so in that case it will be coming, so it will be coming from the project cost center. They will be using sales, if it is a sales purpose, it will be booked for the sales cost center. If it is for your finance, it will be booked under finance. Internal order, so means that the tracking the cost of a specific job. I told you that you have taken some orders from your customers, so how to map that particular order. If you have to replace that particular product to your customer, that will be also need to be mapped under the cost center. So not only this is related to the cost, it might be also service as well. Okay. Cost advertising campaign run by marketing department, cost exhibition done by marketing department, all this falls under the internal orders. Now I'm coming to the profit center, which I already told. The profit center is having the revenue and the cost, whatever revenues they are making for the entire year. And the revenue will be coming after comparison with the always whatever expenses you have made for the entire year. So once you divide, I mean that if you have made a sale of 1000 rupees and you purchase that particular whatever products you sold on 1000 rupees, that cost is 800 rupees, you made a profit of 200 rupees. So that revenue per portion will be coming under the profit center portion. So this is the example of the revenue collected against sales of a product and sales of a department, which I have given you example just now. Cost of a salary of the sales of an employee, and because we are taking the service from the employee, so that is part of the service portion. So this is uh, now I'm coming to the travel and expenses portal, which is also a part of the cost of the organization, which is profit center accounting. And we are doing the profitability analysis, that revenue which is coming, profitability analysis which is coming from the product, customer, sales and others. If any other place we are generating the profit from the business, that is falling under the profitability analysis. Okay. So now I am coming to the career prospects of the competitive after completion of this course. So as I told you, this is a future prospect is very, very, very high. So it will in the next 25, 30, 40 years, you can tell that you will be having a good prospect if you are having the knowledge of this particular SAP FICO. You will be able to get the job in a very, very easy manner, because the other the Tally or Oracle, if you have to struggling to get the job, because and their salary packages are also very, very low. If you are doing this particular SAP module expert, so their salary expectation will might be I mean that will be a very high. So and the future prospect is very good, because India, I told you that India is having most of the SAP consultant. If you are going to Canada, US or any other country, so in that case you will be getting much salary for that. So future prospect is very good for this. And the implementation project, whatever roadmap I told you, that requirement gathering as is to be, then high level discussion, final preparation, these are falling under the implementation project. And the support project, so what is the support project? Was the once the project came into the go live, or so in that case I told you in the last phase, go live and support. So it requires some support. If anything is required, if any maintenance is required, it will be falling under the support project. Okay. And SAP super user, power user, end user. So here the super user, power user concept they have given. The super users have a better knowledge but about SAP system and can support to the end user in minor issues and a transaction. And I have already described what is the use of the super user in the development system. Whatever development you are doing, you have to do as a super user, and whatever testing you have to do in the quality system, you must have the access of a power user. And end user is nothing but the business user who is doing in the production system. Just like one of your friends asked me in the question that we are doing the posting and reversal as an end user, we are doing all these things, and it is hitting into the system, main productive system. Okay. Now learning journey to in SAP FICO course, so which that introduction of the ERP SAP enterprise structure, which I showed you already in this particular which is called here. So in this enterprise structure, in this assignment portion, you can see that this portion, if I am going to financial accounting global settings, you will be getting more. Here you can see that particular activate how to create the company code, fiscal year, which I told you already, tax on sales and purchase. So this part, and more thing, general ledger, which I have. Okay, so here we can see the general ledger accounting, how to configure. Here we can show you bank accounting, we have already described it. This is the bank accounting, whatever configuration are there we will be showing here. And that there is also the accounts receivable and accounts payable portion is also there. I am showing you accounting. So in this accounts receivable master data, for how to create the master data and accounts receivable and accounts payable, you can see here. This is, you can see in this for accounts receivable and accounts payable. Under this accounts receivable and accounts payable, you can see the customer account, vendor accounts, business transactions, which we have already described. So everything will be showing in the this particular course. This is all the topics: accounts receivable, accounts payable, asset accounting, FI reports, CO basis, basic settings, COPA, and all these things. Okay. So now this is for your questions time.
Hello,
Yes, Sanjay.
this is Sanjay. Sir, I have a question. Actually, could you please explain to once the business area and functional area?
Business area and the functional area, right? Yeah.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
business area is that from where you are having that one business which is operating from different location. Okay, so you have, for example, the business of pharmaceutical business. It is operating from Delhi, Mumbai, and Chennai. So this is called the different location, geographical location, which is called the business area. And what is the functional area? Functional area is that if your company is a pharmaceutical company, they are having the sales and marketing department, finance department, HR department. So there are different production department. So these all are the departments are working. So which is the functional area, whatever functions is being performed this particular area. So this is part of the functional area as per the department.
Okay.
Is that
It
clear?
means some. Yes, clear. It means somewhere we have the sales office, marketing office. So that is called sales functional area.
Sales office, marketing office, you are referring something. Yeah, this is falls under the functional area. If it is part of the marketing segment, if it is falling under the sales segment, if it is falling under the production, it will be coming under the or FMCG. So like that. So it will be coming under the functional area.
Yes, sir. Got it. Thank you, sir.
And the business area will you from where your business is getting operated. So your business is having different area of operation, so that is falling under business area. Okay, anything else?
Anybody has any query? Hello, guest. Hello,
Sir,
friends.
I have another question. Hello.
Sanjay. Yes, Sanjay, tell me.
Yes. Sir, yeah, if I join somewhere as FICO consultant, so what would be my role?
As a FICO consultant, if you join, so I showed you one of the slides. There are implementation consultant, there are support consultants are also there. So you have to support that the project is already being on go live. If any customer requirements is there, just like creation of the business area or creation of any new company code, or you have to maintain the fiscal year, you have to maintain the tax code, or you have to
Yes.
maintain the asset master data. So you have to do it as a part of the support consultant.
Okay. Consultant.
Sorry, as a support consultant you have to do this. Yeah, you will be a consultant level, not in the end user. You don't need to do any posting like that. So invoices are there. So and you have to make the posting in FB60 or FB70 or Miro, not like that. Okay.
So anybody has any query? Molloy, Rahul, Ruchi, Shiva Prasad. Anybody? Anybody has any questions? related to the
No,
course,
sir,
related to
not till
everything?
now.
Okay, fine. Thanks, Chiranjit. Then we are closing the session today. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thanks everyone.